Hey everybody, it is Key Dorsey here with your Honestly vlog. And we're going to talk about all the things today, okay? All the things that we need to do for ourselves today. I wanted a little bit of music going in the background, but I know it's going to make me copyright and do something, so I'm going to pause that. But let's talk about all things, right? So this year, is the year of intention. Okay. I know I set my word for the year as manifest. I'm manifesting everything that I ever wanted and everything that I need. Okay. Part of that, though, is setting yourself as a priority. How many of us really, really do that? And as a female, as a black female, that it's hard, right? Because we wear many hats. We have to do many things. You feel like you have to make you who you are, right? So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So honestly, my honestly moment. So last year was very hard. And going all the way back to 2023 when my father passed, like life had been, you would think that it was great and everything because I would put on a full face and hold in most of the stuff that was happening. So nobody really knew what all I was going through. When my father passed, though, it gave me a real, like it had a real setback, right? But at the same time, I began to really, really go through a lot of different stages, right? So I experienced depression, I experienced lashing out, I experienced anger, to a new level. I started drinking really, really hard, like throwing back bottles and bottles and bottles and being in the bars and having to be around people or needing to be around people that, not necessarily the best way to go. And not saying that any of my ships were friendships, whether friendships, situationships, relationships, whatever it was, they were meant for that time and that place. And you grow, right? And sometimes you grow in different directions and you realize that certain things just does not feed you. They don't help you grow and continue to grow. So here we go. I'm looking at notes on the side so I don't forget anything. Okay. So I set some realistic goals for myself this year. Like super, I sat down, was intentional. I prayed. I talked to my mentor. I talked to my therapist. And talked to a couple of my best friends that I rely on and kind of hit them up in mental thoughts and things like that. So I wanted to set myself up for success for the rest of my life. Okay. So one, I really have been taking a lot of time for me, right? You may not have seen me this year yet. You may not see me this year. Especially in the same places. I just don't go, right? I used to live, like I'm in Detroit, and then I'm from Flint. So Michigan is very, very small. Detroit and Flint are very, very small. So typically, if you hang out at one place, you probably see everybody, right? So in Detroit, I used to hang at the Quickie Bar. I go here and there, but not often. I haven't been this year yet. And don't have a desire to necessarily. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love everybody there. There's no beef, no nothing like that. I just don't frequent places that don't serve me any longer. I'm not in that same place where I was drinking as tough as I was. I'm not even drinking at all. As a matter of fact, I've been sober. So, so being in places where it cultivates that attitude and that behavior is totally different for me now. And then in Flint, the loft closed, so which is where I got in most of my trouble that I've been in. And so I don't hang in the same places or do the same things any longer. I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking, not really around a whole lot of people. I've isolated myself quite a bit, like really, really. From 1999 of graduating high school all the way up until now, I have always been in the midst of all of the attention. No matter whether we were clubbing, we were throwing parties, cabarets, and all those things. Like I always was seen. I was always out with my friends. Now it's a little bit different. It's a lot, well, actually a lot different than what it was then. So after losing my dad, I really decided like, hey, you need to chill out. Like you really, really need to pull it back in, right? Um, I had left church. I hadn't been going to church. I hadn't been um, around that scene. But yet and still, even in not being there physically, I was still surrounded by people who were. Didn't even pay it any attention or any mind, didn't care. But God always seemed to place certain people in my life that would keep me somewhat grounded and somewhat where I knew I was supposed to be, right? So, um, I had legitimately checked out emotionally and mentally, like fully checked out. I started isolating myself. I would be at home. I wouldn't go anywhere. I didn't want to be out and about. I didn't want to be driving. I didn't want to do anything, right? Got into an accident, totaled out my car, caught a DUI, like whole 9 yards. Like I just did not want to be in the midst of anything. Um, and I really blamed a lot of people at first. Like I blamed a lot of things that were happening in my life, but ultimately in my growing process and in therapy, I realized that those were decisions that I made. I can't blame anybody else, right? But me. Mm, hard pill to swallow. But um, even in the midst of all of that and being that social butterfly, I am no longer like that. I appreciate the time that I have and I give to myself. I'm able to sit down and really study my Bible. I'm able to do a puzzle. I'm able to color. I'm able to write, which I'm beginning to write a little bit so I can try to get a book out at some point. I started vlogging like I'm doing now. And then I started releasing other business projects that I'm working on, right? Then I got really, really involved in my church. So, which I now attend a virtual church at the moment. Will be probably in a brick and mortar at some point, but right now it's all virtual. So God did a 180 on me, right? So, but I said that to say this, that I lightweight prefer being alone. Crazy to think, but I lightweight love the fact that I'm able to gather myself, sit in my thoughts and really, really process my thoughts, process my methods of dealing with things and how I was really handling some stuff, and deal with the decisions that I made so that I can make better decisions in the future, right? So don't be afraid to cancel a party or cancel my invitation or whatever. I am okay with not being there. Okay. I will get back in my bed and put on my PJs. Okay. I am good with it. I love you, but it's okay. I'm really not hurt by it any longer. So that was one thing I decided to do, was to intentionally take time for myself. There's some days that I literally do nothing at all. Like I plan for a Saturday of not doing anything. And whatever happens, if I decide to go out, it's because it was something that I wanted to do wholeheartedly. And before, I wouldn't be like that. I would be really, really running here, running there. Um, and my schedule was totally booked. Like I put everybody else first, family included. It did not matter. I put them all first. And I'm no longer doing that. So that's one. Number two, my relationships have changed with everybody. I have some best friends. I have some people that I consider very close friends. And I take the word friend very, very, very serious nowadays. Before it was kind of like just a blanketed word for me. Like I felt like everybody was a friend. Now, not so much. But I have some people that I am close to and some people that I'm not so close to anymore. And I thank them for the time that they were. Um, And I talk to them occasionally. Sometimes I don't talk to them at all. Sometimes I do. But when I see you, there's no love lost. I just believe that people grow and branch off into different areas of life and they start doing other things. And that's fine. I love the fact that everybody is doing what they're meant to do. I just hope that that's what you're trying or what you really want to do. And I pray and wish them all the love and the happiness in the world and every endeavor that they ever touch. There's no hate, no nothing like that. I just personally have to be really, really guarded about who I allow into my circle these days and into my heart because I love her, yo. So, I'm not cool with a lot of the same people that I was cool with, or as cool with, let's just say that. Not as close as I was, right? And I don't get bent out of shape about it anymore. I used to like really, really sit up and wonder why somebody was treating me this way or why somebody decided to do something. Yeah, not no more. I don't care. To be honest, honestly speaking, like I don't care. Don't give a hell, okay? Um, I pray and wish you all the happiness and joy in the world. That's where it is. I wish that you heal in this season, and that's where I am with it. And that's growth for me. That's a lot of growth for me. So number 3, I am intentionally creating experiences and not just spending frivolously, right? I'm not just spending money on random things. Like, of course, I'm planning trips. I'm booked and busy. Um, I love to travel. That is my pastime. I love to travel and see new places. I love to go to places where I've seen and maybe experience something else, okay? So I take my trips very, very seriously. I'm planning like 3 or 4 this year already. I go on a cruise every year now. I started that a couple of years ago. Go on a cruise every year in October. That's still happening, right? Got a couple of other little trips here and there coming up. And so I am being very intentional about it now, whether it's really a fun trip of hanging out and doing whatever, that's one thing. Or whether it is simply just taking a breather or seeing the sights, whatever it is, do something that makes you happy, okay? I am very intentional about my relaxation and my peace, okay? And I had to be because at one point I didn't care. And now I do. I care about me. I have to put myself as the priority. And most women don't do that. And most black women definitely don't do that. And for me, I never did it. Never. And my friends used to get on me all the time about it. Like, you have to take time for you. You do everything for so many people. You are everybody's best friend or everybody's friend and everybody's counselor and everybody's prayer warrior and all this stuff. And you sit back and you suffer. And so this year, I'm really, really intentional about making my experiences, whether you like it or not. Clock that. And so, as they say, number 4, I've always been a learner. I've always been one who has educated myself. I have a master's degree. I hold a couple of bachelors, a couple of associates. Like, I'm always learning, and in some school for something, I have a couple of certificates. So I am a hustler at heart, okay? Hustling runs in my family forever, and I'm not talking about the bad hustling. That does too, but not talking about that. I am talking about like literally wearing so many hats or starting so many businesses or touching other people's businesses that prosper, but mine would be just on the back burner. Yeah, not no more. I'm working on my businesses. I'm working on each and every one of them, including this vlog. But taking time for myself and the many hats that I wear and really, really investing that my money and my time into learning how to trade cryptocurrency for real, like learning to invest it, learning to invest my money in some of it, learning to invest my money in other stocks and other bonds and annuities and things like that. Like, I'm really, really trying to be debt free. By the end of the year, I plan for all my debt to be gone except for my student loans, okay? And that's only because my student loans are like over 200K. Okay. But I'm even working on that and trying to really come up with a plan for that I can stick to, right? Because life happens. So being able to pay that and pay it consistently is a goal, along with just paying off of all my debt, right? And I'm not talking about like, of course you want to work to pay off your car and you want to work to pay off things, but at the same time just being in good standing with paying everything. Like, I have credit cards that I want to pay off. My car be a regular recurring, recurring credit per se. But again, making good debt, not all this other debt, right? But it's a possibility that all of that will be paid off too. So let's go there. So moving through this year, being debt free and living my life to my purpose and to that golden state is my mindset. I want to manifest everything that I have desired for years. Everything that I desire right now, I want to manifest it. So I'm making better decisions with my time, with myself, with my peace, with my thoughts. I am doing it, okay? Wealth and prosperity is mine, and it is the real self-care, okay? So I challenge you, in closing, I challenge you guys to really take a moment. Think about those things that you really want to manifest. Think about the things that are going to make you happy and place yourself as a priority, whether it's doing something once a week or once a month. I go and get my nails done once a month, okay? And that is something that I take pride in because I like to get dazzled up every now and then. I like to get my hair done. So whether it's going every other week or whether it's going once a month for styles like protective styles, right? But taking that time to really do something for yourself is priceless, okay? And you deserve it. You deserve to make yourself happy and make yourself the priority for once. So take that time. I know people got kids. I know we got jobs. I know we have family that depends on us. But if you ain't taking care of you, who else gonna do it? You can't take care of them in a jail cell or in the grave. So please take the time and really, really love on yourself and make yourself a priority. So I hope that this blesses you. I hope that it helps you to put some things into priority for yourself so that you can be a better you in the future. All right. See you guys next week. Honestly. I'm gonna turn back on my music. Rock out.